Good day. Welcome back to the shop. So today, well, Happy New Year, by the way. This is probably my first video going to go up of 2024. But today I thought I'd go over the old Allis Chalmers garden tractor and the even older Allis Chalmers snowblower that I've rigged to the front of it here. Sort of show you a little bit about it. Because last night, guess what happened? It snowed a little. There's pretty much nothing there before. I had this out yesterday just to sort of test it what little snow we had, but I thought, oh, this thing's kind of a rare beast. I'll sort of show you what I did to kind of rig this thing up. So this is just a single stage blower. So there's no additional impeller down the chute. This is just a straight shot to, here's my finger here. There's just a straight shot from these paddles here spinning at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And they just throw it up the spout and away you go. So it doesn't throw it very far, but it still beats using a shovel. So the way this mounts, the mount will fit this frame. This is more meant for the older B series, I believe, the yellow ones. And the frame, the front axle, it sort of hangs on the front axle here. And you can sort of see where it sort of hangs on those two yellow bars. They're hanging off the front frame. They're sort of notched out and they sit there and hang. And then the bottom, this piece here, this extends back and it grabs on this little mount point here where the front, with a mower usually grabs on the front of the tractor right here, this pin. So it kind of reuses the same mounting points. The B series ones, the hood did not extend out past the hitch, or the axle. I mean, the axle was kind of in front of everything. So the PTO and everything was sort of out in the open. So I had to actually cut off the top of the bracket. It used to have a piece that would come higher. And there's a little over-center clutch mechanism right on the front of the tractor. So you had to, I don't know if you had to get off the seat to come over here to engage the snowblower, but that's what they did. But none of that will fit because all that tin is in the way. I'll just lower the snowblower here. So you just turn the key on. This is one that has the electric lift. So it's just a simple, the original factory one had a push rod. I just used a chain, but it just grabs onto the side of this, this little bracket, right back to your lifting arm here. So whether you have a manual lever or the electric one, same idea. It just slacks off the chain and away you go. Whoop! I want to start it yet. I don't want to just shut it off. You can kind of see. Okay, so this is actually a factory clutch on the front here. It's a little mechanical clutch. There's a little push rod back to the second lever here. So the PTO on the back for the mower and the tiller, the lever's on the other side there. This one's on this side. So when you activate this lever here, the little push rod moves, and that's as far as it goes. So that one bolts right on the top of the Kohler, right in the front of the Kohler engine. And that's actually a factory clutch that my dad actually found for me somewhere. And he said, hey, this will fit your tractor. So he grabbed it for me. The belt tensioning, though, is definitely not factory. Like I said, on the original one, they had a little over-center clutch, and that was sort of all the idlers were sort of built onto that little assembly. All that had to come lower because it was up right in the frame of the tractor. You could sort of see the clutch past the grill there, what I just showed you. That was all in the open on the B series. These ones this is a 716 hydro. So this is a little slightly newer than the snowblower. So the mount points are all the same. So this will fit once you slice off all the top mechanism. But to rig up the idlers, these are the original idlers, but this one sort of flops on an angle. I just kind of re-welded them to the bottom of the frame. All they do is just make that belt turn the corner there. This one here, I just put on a little angle bracket. You can see there's just a little slot that I just sort of milled out of there so that you can loosen these bolt off and slide this guy up and down. That's how I tension it. In the book, I'll show you, they have some sort of a spring-loaded mechanism, does kind of the same thing, and they have a little foot pedal on the other side. If you stand on that pedal, it pulls the spring, stretches the spring, so you can get the belt off and on. You let go and it tensions up. So here we see the book here. So that would be my series of tractor. That's a 716. I don't know if it's a hydro or not. But the blowers are basically the same. They were painted orange instead of yellow, of course, to match the tractor. But if you look in close, you can sort of see those two idlers down in the mix there. That's sort of what I mimicked based on this picture. but sort of you can't really see it, but in there's that little step thing, and then here's this spring on the side. And that's what would sort of pull up on this lever system, and then that would pull these ones down. It was sort of a little seesaw kind of deal they had in there. Here's another picture with the snowblower out of the way, a little closer up. So there's this little spring arm. There's a pivot sort of in here, or in the middle here. So that will just sort of like seesaw based on the spring pulls up, that pulls this idler down. Those two idlers are right there. There's that spring that I don't have. So I'm just using this idler on a slot and just put it down. There's a bolt through it with a couple lock nuts on it, and just sort of tension it in place, leave it loose enough it spins, but that's about it. So that's kind of the grand tour. Of course, the spout does have a little rod here. It's just, you just reach up and turn it by hand, but you can sort of send where you send it. It seems to blow best if it's facing quite right forward. Those paddles kind of got a clear curve right around the top. So it'll actually throw snow pretty good if you're driving forward into the snow, pushing it forward. When you go to the side, it's got to make an extra kind of corner, and it seems to slow the snow down a lot without that impeller. So you're limited, but I'm in town, so like I don't want to throw it through my neighbor's window anyway, so only throwing it like 3 or 4 feet is fine by me. So I'm just going to give her some grease here. This little shaft, this little pipe here, this fills up with grease. There's a little idler in here, little pulley there, and that just turns this shaft, comes over to the end here, and there's like a chain drive that turns like 1,000,000 miles an hour. So I just usually make sure this is all full of grease and stuff. So, stupid lock nuts. There we go. Come on, there we go. Yeah, that's all it is. It just sort of sits there. It's not like super tight or anything, but that's okay. But that just spins around, spins the auger, and that's the only mechanism there is. The auger is the impeller, so at least it's simple. Did I call these lock nuts or lock washers? I meant lock washers. I think this belt needs a little bit of snugging too. I think it's a little bit loose. It was slipping a little bit yesterday, so I'll tighten that belt up a little bit too. Okay, we'll try that. I just sort of pushed it down a little. It was awful loose. There's still quite a bit of play in there. I don't know how much you can see, but I can still flex this a bit. But I don't want it to be right tight. If I hit a stick or something in there, I want it to slip a little bit. All right, not sure how this is gonna go, but let's see if we can blow some snow. it looks like for whatever reason we either broke a belt or just jumped off, but this is not supposed to be loose. So hopefully I didn't break it. But if all it did is jump off, I'll put it back on because I still got to do the front driveway. So now I got to go back and look at the footage, but this belt, did I have it on upside down before? I gotta go back and look. The flat is supposed to be on this idler and the groove is supposed to be in the bottom of that one. I don't know how I had it in the first place, but the way it ended up was it was twisted upside down. That might have been why it jumped off. It seemed to jump off the drive pulley right there. So if it was sitting V side up, that would explain why that happened. So I just flip her around and get her back on and away we go. So hope you like this. I'll just cut the video there. I'm just going to go do more of the same here. But yeah, that's the old Allis Chalmers single stage snowblower on my Allis Chalmers 716 hydro garden tractor. So I know there's a few of these I've seen videos on, but not a lot. So I thought, I'm getting her out today. I've never seen anyone actually rig up a mismatched model snowblower to this series of tractors. So I thought I'd try it and just show it and see what it is. But hopefully some of that footage turned out of the snow blowing. I might take a little bit more just to be safe. Once the snow starts flying, I can't see what's going on. I don't expect you to. But thanks for watching. If you liked the video, hit a like. Please subscribe if you haven't already. It does help the channel out. Or leave a comment below. Check out some of my other videos. I have a video of the Allis Chalmers Museum that's quite popular. You might want to check that one out if you haven't already. I also do a few other museums too. So if you're into old junk, which you probably are if you're still with me, go check it out. Some interesting stuff. Okay, thank you. Bye.